The former First Lady did what most girls do when they don't have a perfect outfit for an event. Just skip it.
In the latest episode of her podcast, IMO, Michelle Obama finally reveals why she missed President Trump's inauguration. Take a look.
Basically trick myself out of it. And it started with not having anything to wear. I mean, I had affirmatively, because I'm always prepared for any funeral, anything. I walk around with the right dress. I travel with clothes just in case something pops off. So I was like, if I'm not going to do this thing, I got to tell my team, I don't even want to have a dress ready.
She further explains her rationale. Let's watch.
While I'm here really trying to own my life and intentionally practice making the choice that was right for me, and it took everything in my power to not do the thing that was right or that was perceived as right, but do the thing that was right for me.
Michelle also addresses how her choice made headlines and garnered outrage.
My decision to skip the inauguration, what people don't realize, or my decision to make choices at the beginning of this year that suited me were met with such ridicule and criticism. Like, people couldn't believe that I was saying no for any other reason, that they had to assume that my marriage was falling apart,
She also skipped President Jimmy Carter's funeral in January. So it sounds like she just didn't want to go. No way, no how. She didn't like Donald Trump. She didn't want to be back in the spotlight in that way. And she said she was ready. She was dressed to go, but did not, or could have been dressed to go, but was absolutely against the idea of ever going in the first place. So I don't know what else there's to say. She don't want to go. It's her choice. She's not obligated to.
I also think the outrage is interesting because no is a full answer, especially from someone who is not a politician. I don't think we had the same criticism for President Trump when he skipped Biden's inauguration. And if he did, hats off. But I think it's important for people to understand context. Obama didn't skip it. This woman has autonomy, and she played nice, right? She made up "let's go high" when they go low for 8 years. When people were bothering her about her shoulders being out, people were bothering her about everyday appearances.
Well, that's what happens when you're in public life,
right? So she made a choice to stand by her husband for 8 solid years while he was in the public eye every single day. And I think when he's out of it and hasn't been president for years, she has the ability to have the autonomous decision to say, hey, this doesn't work for me, and I'm a whole individual, and I'm good.
I'm not sure people were outraged that she didn't attend. They were more just curious. There were obviously rumors or gossip that it was some dispute that she was having with Barack himself. Those appear to just be rumors. Nothing has come of that. I don't know, it was just more a conspicuous absence. I wasn't mad that she didn't attend. I was just like, what's going on there?
But why didn't people have the same rumors for Trump? Was he getting a divorce when he didn't show up to Trump?
Well, we know why he didn't show up. It's because he thought he won the election.
Like, for women, it's, again, this double standard. Why did she have to go
because you left a mystery about it. It was mysterious. It was not mysterious why Donald Trump was not attending the Biden inauguration. He claimed the election had been stolen from him by these people, and he was not going to sanction it whatsoever, right? That would be, if that was her reason, that would have been interesting. If she said, no, actually, Kamala Harris won the election, it's illegitimate, and I'm not going on this basis, that would have been really interesting. But
I think another part that stuck out to me is that she has 2 daughters, as you know, and she said that every decision she makes, she realized affects them deeply. And so she's showing them that if there's something that they really feel strongly about that is not the right decision for them, they should be able to say no. And I think that, especially when you have a daughter looking up to you, you have to show them exactly how you want them to behave rather than telling them. And so they have options in life. She just wants to make that crystal clear.
Does it make it confusing to the kids when it's like, well, daddy's going to this, but I'm not?
Well, it's like, no, because you're marrying an individual, and that's part of a relationship, is that you have to figure out what works for you. Some people would say tradition is amazing, you should be in lockstep, and I get that, especially in the public eye, but it's not like she didn't comb through this. She said, I knew what the quote-unquote right thing to do was, but the right thing for me was different, and so I made that choice. And I think that people of all walks of life are going to have that experience in their life one time or two, where there might be one choice that might be technically on paper right, but the choice that sits better with them, they make. We talked about it yesterday at 60 Minutes with the EP saying the right choice for me is to get out of here right now. Other people that work there probably think it's a terrible idea. They wanted him to continue to lead the ship. So,
yeah, look, it's fine. She is not obligated to be there. Honestly, no one is obligated to be there. Barack Obama didn't have to be there either, although he seemed to be that was what I think most struck people as interesting, as particularly at the Carter funeral, those the footage of him and Trump chatting pretty amicably, actually kind of smiling, laughing at each other.
Best friends.
You know, it's you're right. I'm not saying they're best friends, but it is always striking when you just see all these main characters of our political times discussion are not often all in the same place. You know what I mean? So to see Obama and Trump and Bush always jumps out from behind a corner and makes everybody laugh and smile. And
I didn't really get the seating arrangement though. I think that for me the Jimmy Carter funeral was more like they got the seating organization and she was like, "There's no way in the world I'm sitting next to Trump."
Yeah.
Versus,
well, she was out because she was the vice president, so that was the first row, right? Was Biden and Jill, and then Kamala and Doug, and then behind was, I think it was just based in order of presidency. I think that's
because wasn't Trump right next to? So shouldn't Biden have been right next to Trump instead of Obama?
Because they were in the first row because they're current.
Okay.
And then behind that was Bush. Oh, it was Trump, Obama, Bush's. Yeah, I think that's what it was. And then behind that was like Clinton and Gore was there.
It's pretty much everybody besides Michelle Obama.
I love arranging seating charts, so I would have been happy to be in charge of it.
Well, I think she sent a message and she made her decision. So I'm glad that she spoke about it. The transparency. If you're gonna have a podcast, you might as well talk about what everybody's been talking about all year.
Well, but maybe there emerges a little criticism. Like, if you don't want to talk about this, fine. If you want to not be in the public eye, fine. But you do want to have a podcast. I don't know.
Other podcasts is about life and relationships and experiences, not politics. But she's been very vocal that she does not want to be involved in politics in any way. How many calls has there been for her to run for president? She's like, that is not what I want to do. That's what my husband wanted to do.
There's just too many. I'm not calling her out specifically. There's just too many podcasts out there. I say that as someone who participates in about 3 hours of television every single day and has about 18 other video, audio projects. So I am a do as I say, not as I do, but there's a lot of content available for people
there is
who listen to
a lot.
politics. That does it for us today on Rising. Please be sure to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss any of our content. And for those of you who like to listen while on the go, we're now available anywhere you listen to podcasts. And we will see you some other time. Take care.